On today's episode of the Gamer Girl podcast, Elizabeth discusses her top 5 furniture sets from Animal Crossing New Horizons. Hey everybody, today's episode I'm going to be talking about my top 5 Animal Crossing furniture sets. More about that later in the episode. I don't have any new reviews. We did get a Spotify, new review on Spotify, 5-star rating, which helps out a ton. So if you're listening on Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating on that. Helps out a whole bunch. And then also leave a 5-star review on Podchaser, or leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That always helps too. And with that, I have a question that was left in the Discord. So that's another thing. If you want it, feel free to join our Discord, the Gamer Girl Podcast Discord. And I have a link for that in the description. And Andros asked this question on the Discord right after I had finished recording the season 2 premiere episode, and so I decided I would have this question on today's episode. But anyway, Andros, who helps host, is one of the 2 hosts of the Nintendo Pals podcast. Great podcast. Feel free to go listen to that once the episode's done. So, Andros asked, if you could get an additional fighter pass of 5 fighters for Smash Bros. Ultimate, who would you like to see get added? So, I was trying to figure out what order I wanted to say, most wanted in a fighter pass, but I decided I would go in the order they would release. So, Sakurai announces there's going to be a new fighter pass. Well, to start it off, we would get Tails from the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Tails, I feel like, would be pretty good. He would probably have a pretty decent float, because he's basically a helicopter, similar to what Kirby and Jigglypuff have, where they can float, and some of the other characters. He would use a lot of the moves. I haven't played Sonic too much, but I would probably want a lot of his moves that he does in Sonic the Hedgehog to be put into it. And so that would be really cool. And then next up, it's like, oh, we got a new Fire Pass. Tails. That's a pretty good start, I feel. And my next one would be Sceptile. Because there aren't any Gen 3 Pokemon there aren't any Gen 3 Pokemon in Smash Bros. Ultimate. And there's a lot of other Pokemon from a lot of other generations, but Gen 3, I very much enjoy the Hoenn games, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. And Sceptile, I feel like would be a good one to put in instead of Blaziken. I feel like we already have enough fire types. And then water, because we have Charizard and Incineroar. And then for water type, we have Greninja and Squirtle. So we already have a water, technically Charizard and Squirtle are now part of Pokemon Trainer. But separate starter Pokemon, we already have a fire type with Incineroar. And we already have a water type with Greninja. So I feel like the grass type would be really good. And Sceptile, I feel like you could get some really good moves on it. And its final smash would probably involve Mega Evolving. Kind of similar to what Lucario does, but not like a big blast. I would think what it could do, because part of its Mega Evolution Dex entry states that it can, when it Mega Evolves, it gets a torpedo. Its tail turns into a rocket, basically. And so what I think would be really cool is if they use that, and its final smash was basically like a torpedo that shot up and then came down. or you could possibly target it at someone specifically, or it could be cut to a small cutscene, and it could be like a bunch of missiles launching down, which all of those I feel like would be really cool. But anyway, so the second addition to the Fighter Pass would be Subtile. So now it's like, oh, these are some pretty good ones, maybe not too good ones. But next, we would have the Goose from Untitled Goose Game. I feel like this could go in a lot of different directions. I would say it could probably float. Again, similar to Jigglypuff and Kirby. And it could float, but and fly, I guess. And the Goose could be funny too, because its final smash could be you getting annoyed it could just be like a bunch of honking or something like that. But I feel, or maybe it could involve the other people in the game. I haven't thought about it too much, but I feel like the Goose could be a really good addition if executed correctly, which is kind of hard to explain how they would do that, but anyway, I feel like the Goose would be a really good one, and a funny one. So again, we started with Tails, and then we got Subtile, and then we got the Goose from Untitled Goose Game. So next, you could argue that there are plenty of Zelda characters with there being 3 Links, but I still feel like another Zelda character would be cool. I think Rivali would be really cool, or any of the other champions. Or you could possibly do it where it's like a champion pack, kind of similar to what they did with Alex, Steve, Enderman, and Zombie. Where what I'm thinking they could do is you could have all 4 champions, and then you could have an altered coloration for them. And I feel like that would be cool. So you could have Rivali, Urbosa, Mipha, and Daruk, and they all have slightly different movesets. But they're all generally the same. The movesets are all generally the same. So I feel like that could be really cool. And so I feel like they could do some pretty good stuff with that. Anyway, one thing I really liked about it, I think Rivali could be really cool, maybe Urbosa or Mipha. I think they could go a lot of different directions with it. So, sorry about me getting loud out there, it's just, there was some background noise and I was trying to be like, hey, I'm recording. But anyway, Rivali would be really cool, Urbosa, just all of them, and their final smashes could, to some extent, except for Mipha or Daruk. Mipha, I don't know how it would work, but they could use like their special abilities. Like Rivali could possibly shoot you up into the air and then drop you really hard. Urbosa could do Urbosa's Fury. Daruk could launch at you with his Daruk's Protection. Mipha, I don't know how that would go though, because it's healing. What it could do is it could heal. The final smash could be healing yourself, and then, or it could be like draining the health from others. That would be kind of cool. Oh well, tell me what you think would be a good idea for them to execute some sort of final smash for oh my goodness, Mipha. So you got Tails, you got Subtile, you got the Goose, and then you got a Rivali or some sort of champion pack. And now, the most anticipated Smash character that everybody wants to be in Smash. I'm sure you were waiting to hear this name be said at the start of the episode. So, coming in as the final Smash character, you thought, oh, we're not going to get him, but Sakurai announces Waluigi is coming to Smash. crazy. I bet everyone seeing the review trailer would freak out. It would be great because Waluigi, he needs to be loved. He's just an assist trophy. Wario got added, but Waluigi's all by himself, and then Daisy got added, which I really like using Daisy, even though there's no difference between Daisy and Peach, but I prefer Daisy. But anyway, so Daisy got added in Smash, and Waluigi's just so sad about it, and then he finally gets added to Smash. So that was my Smash Fighter Pass for my third Smash Fighter Pass. Again, we start off, it would be Tails, and then Sceptile, and then the Goose, and then Rivali, and then Waluigi. I feel like I would totally buy this Fighter Pass if it came out. So, anyway, again, that whole question was asked by Andros from the Nintendo Palace podcast. So, now let's get into the topic you've been waiting for. Top 5 Animal Crossing furniture sets. So, this episode topic was, oh my goodness, I'm totally blanking on the word, suggested. This topic was suggested by Purple Riolu, again, over on Discord. So, if you want to go on the Discord, you can ask questions that I'll answer on the podcast. You can give me topics. So, all sorts of fun stuff. And you'll get mentioned in the episode. So, anyway, starting off at number 5, I have the Rattan set. I'm probably totally butchering that word. Anyway, so I really like this set because the way it looks, and it has a bed, it has a low table, it has a stool, it has a chair, it has a wardrobe, and then a side table. And overall, it's a pretty good set, and I really like the coloration of all the items too. One of my favorite colors is the one that's like the turquoise cloth and then the white wicker, I think is what it is. And then also just the general aesthetic of it with the brown and then the white cloth. Oh, I also forgot, you also have the Rattan table lamp and the towel basket vanity and waste bin. So you have an armchair, bed, end table, low table, stool, table lamp, towel basket, vanity, wardrobe, and waste bin. And my favorite coloration is what they call white. I really like the white one because it has the nice turquoise, tealish cloth for the armchair, bed, and stool. And then also in the towel basket to some extent. I also like the basic brown. I really like that one too. The black's really good. Overall, this one, all the colorations are pretty good. The only one I would say I kind of don't like is the light brown. The gray also looks, the green's an interesting color. But anyway, so yeah, my number 5 is the Rattan set. And then my next one is the Mush Set, which is made from mushrooms and also known as the Mushroom series. But I really like it. I think it's a pretty good overall it's a pretty good design. I'm gonna look at just make sure. So it's made by DIY Recipe, which the Rattan set isn't. But you have the Mush Wall, which I really like the way that one looks. The Forest Floor, which is pretty cool. Never mind, not the fort. That's made with mushrooms. But the Mush Lamp in New Horizons is cool. The Mush Low Stool, the Mush Parasol, the Mush Partition, Mush Table, Mush Umbrella, Mushroom Wand, Mushroom Wreath, Mush Log. In New Horizons, they had a lot more, oh my goodness. They had a lot more different sets because they were able to do, with the DIY recipes and all that. which is pretty cool. So, my number 4 was the Mush Set. And next, I think now's it's a pretty good time to go to the break. So, again, my number 5 was Rat, number 4 was the Mush Set, whatever you want to call it. And with that, we're going to head to the break. See you after the break. Bye! And we're back from the break. So, we're going back into the topic of top 5 Animal Crossing furniture sets. Again, this idea was suggested by Purple Riolu over on Discord, link in the description below. So, we just went over my number 4, which is the Mush Set, and now going into my number 3, which is the Ironwood Set. I really like the Ironwood Set. Overall, the aesthetic's really good of it. I really like the aesthetic. And there's a lot of different items in it too, one of which I am struggling so hard to figure out to get one recipe for it. So, you have the Ironwood bed, which has boxes under it, which looks really nice for like a college dorm, in my opinion, or just a dorm room in general. And then you have the Ironwood cart, which looks like it would be which would be really good for a library sort of deal. Then you have the Ironwood chair, which I use this in my cafe in Happy Home Paradise, which I have my code over on Discord. I might post it in the description, but that's another reason to join Discord is I have my friend code over on Discord if you want to friend me. I have my dream address if you want to go see what my island looks like in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I also have my dream address for Animal Crossing New Horizons. I already said dream address. Also my Happy Home Paradise code if you want to come see some of the designs I've made. Anyway, so back into Ironwood. Then the Ironwood Clock, which I very much like the aesthetic of. The Ironwood set in general gives me that looks very modern farmhouse sort of deal to me. It gives me the modern farmhouse vibes. Maybe just modern, but because it's very, because of the wood. It's called Ironwood for a reason, I mean. So, next up, we have the Ironwood Cupboard, which I really like the design of, and it has all the stuff up, the little shelf on the top. I really like the way that looks. Also, this set in general has really good color alterations for it, because you have the original design, and they also have teak, walnut, old, and oak. I really like the old because it gives it that almost driftwood sort of look. Continuing on, we also have the Ironwood dresser, Ironwood Kitchenette, which I cannot find the recipe for the Ironwood dresser anywhere. I have not gotten the recipe, and so I can't make I have the recipe for the Ironwood Kitchenette, but I can't make it because I don't have the Ironwood dresser. I do have a recipe for the cutting board, but not the Ironwood dresser, so I can't make it, which is a little sad. And then the Ironwood Table, which is also in my cafe I'm in on Happy Home Paradise. Then you have the Ironwood DIY workbench, which I really like with all the paint. It has different paint colors on it. And then Ironwood Low Table, which I think I've used before for like a market spot. And that's all of them. So overall, I just really like the Ironwood set. My favorite rendition of it is either the walnut or the old, because I really like the colorations of both. Just in general. So again, that was my number 3 with Ironwood. My number 2 is the Imperial set, which I overall really like this set. I've used it before for like a Japanese room I did. Japanese aesthetic room I did. So, or something along those lines. So you have the Imperial bed, the Imperial chest, the Imperial decorative shelves, the Imperial low table, Imperial partition, and then you also have the Imperial dining chair, Imperial dining table, Imperial dining lantern, and then the Imperial fence, which you can craft. So not as many items in this list, but I really like the design of them all. My favorite coloration of it for the bed, chest, decorative shelves, low table, and partition, because they have a set of different variations that aren't the same as the other two. So anyway, I really like the brown design on it. The black one I also really like. The Imperial dining lanterns also follow this pattern pretty much with the colors. Yeah, you just have gold, black, blue, and red, which is not the same, but kind of the same too. So anyway, I really like the brown for it. The black too looks really pretty. And then for the dining chairs, you have black and brown, and also for the dining table, you have red and brown. I really like the brown for pretty much all of it, except the dining lantern. I have to say my favorite is probably the black or the gold. But overall, Imperial furniture set's pretty good. So, rounding it up, I have the ranch set. And I really like the ranch set because it definitely helps with like a country vibe. And you have the ranch bed, the ranch chair, the ranch cupboard, the ranch kitchen, the ranch lowboard, the ranch tea table, and the ranch wardrobe. All of which I very much like all the different color variations of. I really like the way the blue is done, and also the darker brown. So, anyway, yeah. The ranch kitchen is probably one of my favorite items, just out of all of the different items, so that's another thing. So, with that, we have my top 5 list. I'm going to get into honorable mentions in a sec, but we have the Rattan set at number 5, the Mush set at number 4, the Ironwood set at number 3, the Imperial set at number 2, and the Ranch set at number 1. So, now we're going to get into the honorable mentions, which are ones I still like, but didn't think should be on my top 5 list. I didn't see them as top 5. So you have the teacher's desk, and then you have the teacher's desk, the chalkboard, the school chair, the school desk. It's only a 4-piece set, but I still like it a fair amount. I really like the chalkboard with all the different variations it has. It has math, after school, art, blank, club activities, foreign language, and music. The music, I'm pretty sure if you play it, it's the Animal Crossing New Horizons theme. I'm just going to double check that. Anyway, so I really like the school desk and the school chair. They have a lot of variations with natural and silver, white and red, light brown and black, gray and blue, brown and white, beige and green. And then the teacher's desk has standard, monotone, or wooden. It's kind of sad that there isn't an actual teacher's chair to go with it. But overall, it's a pretty good design. So, right now I'm just kind of trying to figure, I'm pretty sure it is the New Horizons thing. Oh, yeah. I'm just double checking it. Yeah, it's really cool. It's actually is the New Horizons theme, which is a nice, clever little tidbit that Nintendo snuck in there. So, my next honorable mention I have is the Spooky Set, which you get from Halloween, from doing... is it the Creepy Set? Oh, the Creepy Set's different. Okay. So you have the Creepy Set, which is in City Folk, but the Spooky series... Oh, it says the Spooky series is, I think, Wild World? I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah. You do have the Spooky Set in New Horizons, which is Jack's Portrait, Spooky Arch, Spooky Candy Set, Spooky Carriage, Spooky Chair, Spooky Cookies, Spooky Garland, Spooky Lantern Set, Spooky Scarecrow, Spooky Standing Lamp, Spooky Table Setting, Spooky Tower, Spooky Tree Lamp. And then you also have Spooky Walls, Spooky Flooring, and Spooky Rug. All of which are cool, and I really like how they go with the Halloween aesthetic, and I usually put these on my island whenever it's Halloween time, it's fun. So, and my next one is the Shell Set, which is available in the summertime, and I'm pretty sure you can find the recipes on your beach. Yeah, you find the recipes on the beach. So, anyway, you have the shell arch, the shell bed, the shell rug, the shell fountain, the shell lamp, the shell partition, the shell speaker, the shell stool, the shell table, sandy beach floor, and the sandy beach flooring. So, my favorite variation which all of them have the same variations except for the shell rug and the sandy flooring. But my favorite coloration is probably either the brown or the pearl. The brown, I really like how it looks like sand and all that. And then also the pearl looks really good because it has that almost rainbow look to it. It's also called by pearlescent for the other, some other items, a color similar to it. And then also just the normal colors for all of them look pretty good, the default colors. And I really like that. So, I only have one more honorable mention, which is the Nordic Set, which was recently added in the 2.0 update. It includes the Nordic Chair, Nordic Low Table, Nordic Low Board, Nordic Pendant Light, Nordic Shelves, Nordic Sofa, and Nordic Table. I really like all the different color variations for it. All the different woods are really cool too, because you have light wood, which is the default, natural wood, dark wood, white, red, which looks more like a pinkish red, blue, which is a light blue, gray, and then you have black, and then you have green, orange, and pink for the pendant light. The pendant light had separate colorations, but overall, my favorite's probably the dark wood, because I really like honestly, for all the different sets, if they have dark wood, I'll usually use the dark wood. But anyway, that rounds up my top 5 Animal Crossing furniture sets and the honorable mentions for it. So, again, please leave a 5-star review on Spotify, Podchaser, and Apple Podcasts. It helps out a ton. Please feel free to subscribe on YouTube. That also helps the show out a ton, and it also makes it so all of the things I just said also help people discover our podcast. So if you love the podcast and want other people to find out about the podcast, leave a 5-star review. And also, if you leave a review, then I have more stuff to read at the beginning of the episode. Also, feel free to join our Discord. Again, link in the description. I figured out that the link, I think, expired. So I'm updated the link so it never expires. So it should be good. So feel free to join the Discord. And then also you can leave questions, feedback, or just chat if you want to. And with that, I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. Bye.